What's up, y'all? It's Johnny, aka Herbal Tree here. Hotep, I'm Herbal Tree. Shouts out to the internet family. Once again, we back again. Day 59 of 90-day Seafood Detox. We still going in. You know how we get down. You feel me? It don't stop. It's like clockwork. Anybody that know me know how I get down. It's clockwork for me, baby. 24/7. This is not a facade. This is what I do. I might use that one to grow something. I'm gonna go ahead and grow that cactus out. But as far as these other ones, let me see. Cool, we'll go with that too. That's enough right there. Four will do it. I want a good green juice. So I foraged this here in Ohio. This is Nepalese, scientific name Opuntia humifusa or humifusa. So that's Opuntia humifusa or humifusa, whichever you prefer. So I'm gonna say that one more time. Opuntia humifusa. There we go. Opuntia humifusa. That is a scientific name of this particular type of Nepalese. It is called creeping prickly pear. Chiefly because of the way that it grows. It doesn't grow straight up. It kind of grows out and like onto the soil. But it's definitely a great cactus. As a matter of fact, the first time I seen this growing was here in Ohio was back in 2020. I saw this growing here in Ohio, and I wasn't really able to get any because it was in somebody's yard. This one again was growing off of the sidewalk, like by somebody's yard, you know what I'm saying? But this is definitely a native cactus to this area. This is growing naturally. I've seen this cactus growing in various areas throughout the Columbus, Ohio region. And I finally got my hands on some of it. So I've been utilizing this in my green juices. Shoot. I have my watermelon rind here. I'm gonna set this over here on my camera. And then I'm gonna go ahead and scale these back. So this rising, I went for a 15-mile run. Like I said, I've been actively training to run my first full-length marathon. I'm 33 years old. I should have done this years ago. However, just due to training and lifestyle and inconsistencies, I have not been wanting to run until I feel like I was completely ready to do so. And my goal is to run it in less than 3 hours. I am not completely sure that I will achieve that goal, especially with the time that I have left to run it. However, I'm going to give it my best and try to run this marathon in less than 3 hours. Now, I could just push it back till I know I can run it in 3 hours and be like, you know what I'm saying, and do it like that. But at this point, I'm gonna just go ahead and run a race to see where I'm at. You know what I mean? I want to do this before my 34th birthday. At least run a full-length marathon. Plus, I've been consistent with running at least one half marathon every year for the last 2 years that I've been in Ohio. And then, year 3. This is still technically year 2, but we're going on year 3. In February to the year 3 that I've been here in Ohio. So I just wanted to say that, this is my second year going on year 3. So this is between year 2 and 3. And this will be my 3rd running event that I've done here in Ohio. The first one I did was the Ohio Capital City, Ohio half marathon. So that was the Ohio City Capital half marathon that I did in maybe April. I had to look back at the date. It's on my Instagram page though. The actual date that I ran the race. I can't tell you exactly the date right now. I don't keep track of it. I'm not that in tune with the exact date. However, I know it was in 2023 that I ran that. If I'm not mistaken, I was in the earlier part of the year. It was still pretty chilly out. Wasn't too bad, but it was definitely chilly out. So I ran that half then, and then I ran another half. I did the Mohican half trail run, which was definitely not easy. I was doing really well. I would have placed top 10. However, I fell off at the end. I just locked up. Didn't eat, because I do a lot of fasted runs, and I didn't have enough nutrition, enough salts, enough, just vital nutrients in my body, and my body locked up on me. And I think the main reason that was because I ran the hills. And these were some massive hills. Like, if you're not used to running hills, then I wouldn't suggest you do so. But I trained hills. I had been training hills, and I didn't realize how steep these hills were going to be. And my training wasn't as consistent as it needed to be for me to have ran the hills at that particular speed that I ran them. So those last 2 miles, I broke down. Like I said, I locked up, and I just couldn't run anymore. I literally walked through the finish line, and you can see that on my Instagram page as well. But I did finish strong with my head held high, and it was a great experience. For me, it's not about what place I finish in. I'm not like a professional runner. Although I probably could have been if I was really, consistent when it was necessary for me to be. But for me, it's not about that. It's more or less just about the courage to get out there and do something that you've never done before. That's challenging. That's hard. That most people may never do. So that's why I do that. You know what I mean? I do that for that. Because it's a challenge, and it builds me up to be a stronger, more resilient person on this planet. So that's what that's about for me. I'm scaling back this cactus though. Like I said, I'm gonna add watermelon rind into this juice, ginger. Got a couple of key limes left in the fridge. I'm gonna add those in there. And that's everything right off the top that I can tell you that I'm gonna add into this particular juice. That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and some gala apple. So just 4 elements. Again, that's Napales, Opuntia, Humifusa, gala apple, ginger, Zingiber officinale, right? That's ginger, the scientific name. And the watermelon rind. So one thing about me, I've done a lot of field research on herbs. So I know herbs based on experience with them, not necessarily based on all of the background knowledge of them. Like, I've actually been experienced with this. I don't just read up on herbs. Some people do a lot of armchair research, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? They might know their stuff. But like, I've actually experienced herbs. You know what I'm saying? I'm about that action. Once again. So, and I use these things on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? Have for many years. So, we built Forward Tough over here. Definitely built Forward Tough. I'm like the little engine that could. I think I can. You feel me? So I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? If there's one thing I learned from my mother, God rest her soul, rest in peace, she always told me, you can do anything you put your mind to. You know what I'm saying? So, I was instilled with that at a young age. Doing anything that I put my mind to, I pursued it, I've done it, I've seen it through. Another thing too, running has been a lifetime thing of mine. I've been running since I was 15. That's when I first went to a warrior running camp in Georgia. And it's always been something that I've stuck with on some level. It never got away from me completely. You know? I just feel like I put too much time and effort into it to let it go. You know, plus when I didn't have nothing, that's all I had was my ability to run. You feel me? That's what made me strong. Regardless of what was going on in my life, that was always the thing that brought me through whatever trial or tribulation I was going through. You know what I mean? Some form of physical exertion, some form of meditation and prayer, some form of healthy living, connection to nature. So, it's a little food for thought. Anybody out here that might watch this video and see it, understand that you can always get through anything in life if you put your mind to it. Don't allow things to beat you down in life, because if you do, they will. You have to be able to say, you know what, I'm stronger than this. I'm here for a purpose, and I'm going to continue to surface. You feel me? I'm not going to go under due to some thunder. You know what I mean? A little lightning, a little storm. You know? We know the world that we live in. It's not perfect. There's a lot of things that happen in it that are just out of this world, so to speak, that don't make sense to the observing eye. And we just have to be able to roll with the punches in life and continue to put our best foot forward in all that we do. You know? Then I realized I'd be having to hydrate more. Running that amount of miles, you have to hydrate. You have to eat properly. You have to rest. Like, these are necessities. You know, you need to be consuming the right types of nutritious foods that are going to give you the energy necessary to be able to tackle these particular feats. Otherwise, you're doing yourself a disservice. So I just want you to know that. You know, for anybody who may be looking at running their first marathon, you know, thing about me though, when I start doing something, I do it big. So don't be surprised if I sit down and run, you know what I'm saying, 4 or 5 marathons a year once I get going with this thing, and then even take it up a notch even further. You know, get into running some very long races. You know, because it's not about finishing first. It's not about being the best. It's about being the best version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long road coming for me. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm saying, I'm not perfect by far. So anybody that might be looking at me and thinking that, oh, this guy thinks he's perfect or all. No, I just challenge myself to be better every day, and I keep building on that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, you know what I'm saying? I just recently stopped smoking marijuana completely. You know what I mean? Like, let me see, this is day 59. So 58 days ago, I completely stopped using marijuana altogether. You know what I'm saying? I would smoke a little bud here and there, but I just completely stopped because I just felt like it was slowing me down and it wasn't really adding anything to my life. And I'm glad that I realized that at 33 years of age. You know, wish I would have realized that earlier and just turned the page on that a much sooner. I know for a fact that if I had done that, I'd been a lot further ahead. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people that smoke weed don't realize how lazy it can make you. And I've never been a lazy person. I've always gotten up and got to it. You know what I'm saying? But just the way that it interacts with the neuroreceptors, you know what I'm saying, your neurotransmitters, is going to slow you down. There's no way around it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to affect your short-term memory. You know what I mean? It's going to affect your ability to get things done at a high velocity, and that's just the honest to God truth. Not to mention everything else that we have coming at us in life. You know what I'm saying? You don't really need marijuana. Or at least I don't. I can't speak for others. Even with dealing with, you know, post-traumatic stress after being through very stressful situations. You know, it's not something that is necessary for me. I'm not speaking for others. You make your decision. So, that's that. Even when it comes to like alcohol, like I haven't even, you know, been drinking beer, none of that, you know what I'm saying? Like Guinness is like one of my most favorite beverages on the planet. I'm just being honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Have been drinking beer or Guinness, beer in general, but have been drinking Guinness specifically for over 10 years plus. You know what I'm saying? So I pretty much stopped the weed and the alcohol altogether completely. And I don't feel like there's necessarily anything wrong with having a beer, but I know that alcohol does deplete the body of minerals. There's no way around that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people will tell you, oh yeah, it's healthy, it's good for you. And it may be on a certain level, but ultimately it's a poison, it's a toxin, and it's killing your liver and kidneys the more you utilize it. I'm sorry, there's really no way around it. So that's why I stopped that. I told myself I'm gonna be serious about being a physical trainer and a health professional, that I need to completely, you know what I'm saying, refrain from certain activities. And that's what I've chosen to do. So hopefully, you know, anybody that watches this video understands that and can learn from that and can utilize that in whatever facet to apply to their own life to improve their quality of life. That's what this is all about. just being a better version of ourselves each and every day, in each and every way. You know, so that's what we do. This is the last one. So, excuse me, my mouth's a little dry. I urinated a while ago and I realized that I'm somewhat dehydrated. I need to hydrate some more. After running such a distance, I have not got enough fluids in my body. So, this is what this green juice is about. Helping to get some nourishing, replenishing fluids back in the system. You want me to pause it? I can pause it. All right, so we went ahead and finished chopping up our veggies. Excuse me, our fruit and our veggies. Mainly fruit. We got one particular thing that I would consider to be a vegetable. That is this. Everything else is fruit. So we have our gala apples chopped up. We have our key limes right here. We have our African ginger. We have our watermelon rind. And we have our Nepalese. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Yes. Nothing to it but to do it. All right, so I'm going to start by throwing some things off into the juicer because it's better that way. You know, a gala apple will give it a mild sweetness. We'll do that. Okay. And I'll get those ingredients down first. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and start adding the watermelon rind and the Nepalese. Grab that. Boom. Okay, we don't want to burn the motor out, so I'm going to leave it alone. Oh, we still ahead. Alright. We're getting that. Losing some of it. We lost a little bit, not much. there you have it. Go ahead and cap that. There's our green juice. We're gonna shake him up. We're gonna drink him up. All right. And that's a great concoction right there. Have a little spice with that ginger on it. That gala apple gonna make it nice with the sweetness. And there you have it. Bon appetit. Green juice by yours truly, Herbal Tree. Go ahead and pour that up for you. Let me pour that up for you so you can see what we got here. Y'all can see this. Pour him up. All right. We dripping, huh? Thing dripping. And here's our green juice. Look like slime, but I don't mind. Gonna go in. Boom, perfect every time. Look at that. That's 33 ounces. It's almost 34 ounces, by the way. We could just say 34. About 34 ounces. I'm finna smash that. Once again, I am Herbal Tree. Thank you again for tuning in with me. Health is wealth. Take care of yourselves and each other. Till next time.